you are a blessed being,
Yes, sir.
and you matter, and do not take that step further into the darkness. I don't care what you have to do to climb and crawl and fight your way out of it. Whatever you have to do, get out of it and get back in the fight, because I promise you, fighting is better than being.
Having all these other things going on while you're trying to love and nurture, protect somebody is not easy. And you have to learn to be malleable. You have to learn how to effectively listen. Have to know how to listen. People shake their head to that. Yeah, no. You are hearing, but you're not listening. And it's two different things. You know, if oftentimes I find myself asking, she'll say something to me, and I'm gonna repeat it back to make sure that I process what she said correctly, right? Because in that little exchange, if you can't get that little bit correct, you're not gonna have effective communication. Then you won't have effective support, because you won't have effective understanding. And if you don't have effective understanding,
you're in trouble.
You're gonna call that divorce.
Yeah.
So it's very important to be. I just want to say it's important to be malleable. It's important to be understanding. And I know, like, as men, sometimes we have a lot.
You saying malleable, Jason?
Malleable, yep.
Can you break that down for me? I'm a little slow sometimes.
Malleable, like water, my friend.
Oh, okay.
You're just able to go with the flow. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's a big old piece of putty. You can bend with it.
You be shaking.
Whatever.
So I was the only one sitting here that didn't know what that was.
Unfortunately, we wasn't gonna call you out on it. That's why we just tried to let it go and let Jason continue talking. But since you wanted to know, we have to let you.
I've learned.
That's why you got to put it in the chat. That's why Zoom has a chat. No. Zoom has a chat. Put it in the chat next time. That way we read it and we answer it in the chat, and that way nobody else knows that you didn't know.
He was man enough to ask the question.
That's true too.
No, for real though.
I'm not afraid to ask a question.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people would have just been yesing him to death, and then they'd be like, well, I don't know what the fuck about. What the fuck are you talking about?
Can I be vulnerable for a second? I do that shit at work all the time. I just let them. Oh yeah, yep. And then I just take my phone. I start Googling. Oh, okay, yeah.
So there's a few times I'll hit the Google button if I got enough time. Like today, I was in the class. Lady started saying some shit. I was like, can you break that down for me, please? And I literally saw the faces on other people like, oh, I'm glad he asked that shit.
He said somebody asked.
Listen, I need to know. I can't go through life not just nodding my head. Like, no. Because then you're just going to lead me astray to some craziness for no damn reason because I didn't ask a question.
That's true. So, listen, I think everybody here is doing a great job, right? But I do want to ask, maybe Jason goes first, because I feel like Jason has been breaking his tools down a lot. What are some of the tools that you have, and then tools that you want to express to people to have as well when it comes to dealing with their mental health? So, like, what I don't want to just say advice. I want to say a tool, because we use tools all the time. You know what I mean? So, what are some of the tools that you have that you want to give to your son, the next generation, someone just listening to this right now? Like, what do you from your experience, what do you got for us that we should try to use, maybe in our day-to-day life, or maybe even tomorrow, in a couple of hours from now?
Love. Love yourself. Love your neighbor. Love your existence. Just love. And from that root emotion, we can start to create different types of tools, right? Different functionalities. So if I know that I am prone to aggression. If I think of the thing that is causing the aggression from a disposition of love rather than frustration or fear, I get a different outcome, right? That's the tool right there, right? So I'm applying love in that capacity, love through perspective, so to speak. And then you have, and the variables will continue, so on and so forth, but the common denominator will always be
love.
Move with love. Yo, bro, think about it. Think about it. Some of the greatest things in this planet, this world, is derived from love.
We here right now because of that.
Had a love for the science. It came up with the light bulb. Love for architecture.
Technology.
There was a passion. There was a love, a sense of innate intensity.
I like that.
Right? So I tried to use that in all that I do, which kind of makes you kind of overbearing to some people because they're not used to that kind of exposure. But just keep with it and try not. Another thing, one of the biggest tools that I've had to learn, and I'm learning to utilize more. I just said it prior to listening in business, in life. Listen twice. Yo, can you say that one more time? Just keep listening, because oftentimes we don't hear what someone else is saying. We're hearing what we're thinking. And when we hear what we think, we don't hear what they're saying. So then understanding can't be developed, and you can't move. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You don't get anywhere like that. So love, listening, and then creativity. Get very creative with what I do. I don't think small. I think in grandeur. I come up with that shit that people be like, nigga, that's crazy. You ain't got that. And I live in that area because I'm pretty sure, and renowned for you, myself, we bought those 80s and 90s cartoons and holding down that feeling, right? It's that amazing energy. I like to default to that keeps that youth alive. And creativity in itself is another form of love, right? Because it's just ever expansive. So love, listening, creativity, and with those three facets, I kind of just navigate everything else in between them. Craft tools to what I need to do.
That's deep. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never thought about creativity being a tool, but I like that. I like that. JC, what you got for us?
I think that the biggest thing for me that I've used is silence and being able to pause and not being reactive, even when it comes to your thinking, because you have these knee-jerk reactions to your environment, and it's like the ability to, it takes more strength and energy to resist reacting. Maybe somebody said something to you the wrong way. Maybe you misheard, and instead of your initial reaction to it, being slow to anger is a very powerful, because that emotion is going to go first. The second emotion is, then the brain's going to kick in, and then you're gonna start to reason. Maybe listening to what that person is saying is something you really do need to take to heart. So yeah, listening, like that's key. But like that ability to resist your initial reaction is really hard, and I made it something that was very intentional in the last 5 years to like stop and work on that really hard. And sometimes it felt like there was fire in my body because the 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 reaction I would have to whatever the scenario was, um, would have caused an adverse reaction,
Cause and effect.
cause and effect. And it's just like if I can slow down, it's basically the only thing I can compare it to is like being Neo in the Matrix. That's how I have, it's just like everything's moving fast, and I'm just like, let me just being in that moment and being able to just slow it down mentally, and giving more care and thought to the things that I'm saying, and not always thinking that something needs to be a fast reaction. I think that nowadays everything's immediate. That's one of the biggest things. And then being still is another tool that I use, is being okay with being still with your body. Because my mind,
always going.
I've got the ideas and all of the stuff that I do and have to get done and all that kind of stuff, and ideas I have to come up with and how to make this work and figuring this out. My mind doesn't shut off. And having practicing, because there was a point in time when I couldn't sleep. It was just bad. You know what I'm saying? Like my mind, when I would try to go to sleep, and my mind would not shut up. And the biggest thing that my therapist gave me was a tool, which was an actual exercise that I had to go through. I had to sit in the chair and I had to go through the senses of the body. What do I hear? What do I feel? What do I see? What do I smell? And go through those and be able to just block out all the other distractions and be able to. It's really hard to shut your mind off because your mind constantly talks to
on
you.
there.
So it's talking to you. Being able to put a picture in your head of just one item and be able to focus on that, even if you have to come back to it and redirect yourself back to it. Acknowledging your breath and sitting still with yourself just for a little while before you even start your day. Picking up that phone is like one of the first things we do, right? It's just like, you just go right to it. But like, if you can start your day with being able to, I'm starting the day with me and myself have a date in the morning to connect and be able to like, how do you want this day to go, and think about it and get yourself in the mind. When you talked about how you wanted to say positive things before anything else, if you can start your day like that, I started practicing doing that. It has helped me so much to be able to not start my day with somebody else's agenda in mind. Because we get distracted in this life a lot. We got kids and whatever else and jobs and stuff, but it's like, how do I want my day to go? How do I want to feel during this day? And anything that happens during that day, I'm going to be able to tackle it.
That's it.
So, those are two tools I use heavily.
It's crazy you said that phone thing. I think for the past 2 weeks now, because I know it's when I get up in the morning, the first thing I'm doing is going into my phone first, because the alarm goes off and then it's in your hand actually, right? So what I've been doing as of late, I actually charge it in the bathroom. One, it was a thing to make sure that I stayed awake and like not hit the snooze button. I literally got to get out of bed, go grab it, and I'm in there. So now I just turn the water on and I jump in the shower. So like I still haven't even looked at my phone because all I hit was stop. Then I jump in the shower. I'm getting dressed. I'm starting. I look at my little to-do list. But to answer your question, some of the tools for me, it's about. Hold on, I wrote them down. First off, it all starts with self-awareness. You gotta self-awareness and being, that phrase that they used to tell us, man up and be tougher. All right, now it's time to really man up. Like, be self-aware to realize that there's an issue. You see what I'm saying? All of it's a moot point if you can't even address it by yourself. You know what I mean? So self-awareness and know your happiness. You can't rely on other people to make you happy. That's a bonus when other people make you happy. But you got to be able to make yourself happy with like I said earlier, golf, gym, talking sports, whatever makes you happy, know what that is and try to harness it as much as you possibly can. Stop letting social media fool you. All those people are not your friends. They're your followers. Even Facebook and Instagram have told us they're your followers, not your friends. So you need to build you an actual strong circle. You know what I mean? Like, my two best friends are 25 plus years in. You see what I'm saying? People that I allow into my sector, my circle, outside of being, I keep, I don't, people like to say, oh, that's my friend. No,
Yeah.
I'm not your friend. We met at a party and now we're associates. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just know what classification people fall
You know
in.
where the line is.
If you're putting people in that friend category and they're an associate, they're gonna let you down. And that's gonna fuck with your mental. You know what I mean? You only have a couple true friends. You have a couple family that are friends or friends that are family. Then you have a lot of business associates that have very strong ties that could damn near be friends, but they're still associates. You see what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. I think people need to hop about their feelings sometimes and realize that there's nothing wrong with that. You're still part of my life. You're still part of my journey. You just have a different title. That's all that is. It's like you can't have multiple girlfriends in theory. You know what I mean? Like, even if you think about it, there's the wife and then there's a side piece. Everybody has their fucking title and their role to play. You see what I'm saying? So like everything we're going through life, there's roles to play. Get out your feelings and realize who you are in that role and play that role to the best of your ability. And the last thing I'm gonna say is there's a reason why they started keeping track of stats in baseball, basketball, and all that other stuff. I'm gonna go to baseball with this analogy. There's singles and there's home runs. The singles are just as important as a home run. You're not always gonna get that home run. So catch your happiness in the little wins. Writing out a to-do list and actually accomplishing a whole to-do list, that shit right there is a victory in itself, especially for an entrepreneur. Because you know how long them lists could be. And if you could accomplish that, but you gotta be realistic also. You can't put 30 things on there that know you probably
you're not gonna accomplish.
Be realistic with it. And just like in business, you gotta be realistic with your life, right? I could say all day, every day, I'm gonna do this. No, but you know what I can fucking do? When I get up in the morning, I'm not jumping straight to social media. I could take a shower, get my day started. I could go work out. I could go bring my kid to school. I could do that. I already got 5 victories in that day. You see what I'm saying? Because I value those little wins. That way, when I accomplish a whole to-do list and I actually get that speaking engagement, I get this, those are the home runs. We're all chasing after the home runs. And I think some people, they're like only focused on the home run. If you only focus on the home run, you never win in the chip. I promise you that. I promise you that. If you want to be Steph Curry, you ain't never gonna make it. Because there's only one fucking Steph Curry. There's only one LeBron James. There's only one Michael Jordan. There's a reason why they talked in the essence that they talked about. But that don't mean that you ain't gonna be great. And I think that's where a lot of us get lost, and then it fucks with your mental later on when you're not achieving these things. Look at what you're really
look what you've been able to do.
You talking about people that have 4 letters in front of their names. GOAT. Okay? It's okay to be a sheep in this category. Because guess what? That sheep is still winning. The wolf ain't eat them up. They ain't get lost from the herd. They still got a ring. Like, ain't nothing wrong with being Draymond. Draymond is a 5-time champion. Everybody worried about Curry, but Draymond is a 5-time champion. Robert Horry got more rings than Jordan. But he understands I'm a fucking role player. You see what I'm saying? So like sometimes it goes back to understanding your roles and how to accomplish them. If you could be realistic with yourself and that self-awareness, everything that I just said is gonna fall into place and it'll help your mental. I ain't gonna say it's gonna fix your mental. Because you could be checking off all this shit and it's still that monkey gonna jump on your back and you can't get rid of it.
I can't shake it.
It's okay because you're still working for a better tomorrow.
All right. Listen, I got one more question before we wrap up the show, and then I'll answer the question. Now, listen. We here. No, listen. We here. We
I
gotta
got more
talk.
philosophical shit for you tonight, bro.
Now you got one more. Everybody here can answer the last question. I just want you to think about it, right? Um, you almost made me forget. I want you to think about what's. I know you gave the tools. What's one thing, one piece of advice you want to leave the people with? What's one thing you want to leave the people with? And then I'll answer the question. For me, I think the tool, like a great philosopher once said, Janine Kingford said, balance is not something you find, it's something you create. We have to create the space that we want. You know, I'm reading this book right now, and in the book it says, money is, there's an abundance of money out there, and the reason why that is because just like the rooms that we're in, we have to be in this room, and then we have to create everything in the room, and it starts here in the mind. So when you can start here in the mind, everything else you're trying to create and solve will then come. So that's where the money's gonna come. So if you think about, you wake up in the morning, you think about being a millionaire, yeah, you're not gonna be a millionaire right there in that moment. But as you continue work, accomplish the small goals that you put out for yourself, you create a way to become a millionaire. You know what I mean? So I think if we can create a balance within ourselves, within our mind, that's where things are going to start to change. So if we take care of our mental health, if we take care of our physical health, if we take care of ourselves, then everything else will start to fall in place for us. And then, you know, listen, the one thing I will say that I really like what Jason did, when we talked about our significant other, he brought up the fact that there's negativity in it as well, which there is. There's negativity everywhere. But the more we can think about the positives to balance out the negative, the better things will be. A lot of the time we just let too much negativity take over the positive. I don't know about y'all, but yo, when I'm really having a bad day, I can feel it throughout my whole body, like someone's pouring honey on me. Like I feel like this ooze, like something that I gotta shake off is on me. And that's when I really gotta channel my positivity, really gotta start balancing, really gotta be happy that I'm up. I'm breathing. I got the sun on me. I could roll the window down when I'm driving. I could put my headphones in. I could listen to music. So if we can really find balance within our energy, within our spirit, our the positive and the negative, if we can find balance, that's gonna start helping everything that we just said, every tool fall in place. It's gonna help us, allow us to use every tool everyone here just said. Kevin be the brand. Talk to us, brother, because you look like you got that hot fire liquid magma for us. What advice you want to leave us with?
You made me waste a good one. I thought I was gonna close out on that one.
Okay, all right, fine. I'll let you do that. I'll let you do that.
I got some.
Gonna go? Okay, go ahead.
I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet, right?
Go ahead.
It's simple as this. One day that's never gonna come is tomorrow. The hardest day was yesterday. So be present in today and plan for the future.
JC, I see. Jason, you want to go? You still riding?
I was muted. I was trying to ride you real quick, bro. Big move. I like that one. That was a strong one. I
mean, if you're still riding, we can go to JC.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm not. I don't have anything right now.
All right, go ahead, JC.
Advice. That was your question, right?
Yep.
My advice is find your happiness and trust it. Trust your gut. If you got a bad feeling about something, trust that gut. I think that we ignore how we feel, which is the whole point of this podcast, is addressing feelings and mental health, and that's connected. Trusting your gut with something is probably one of the biggest things you can do for yourself, instead of ignoring it, because we've all had that moments where the thought, it's almost like a superpower. That thought that you had that you're supposed to do something, or you should do it right now, whatever that is, and you ignore it, always comes to bite you. every single time. Like whatever it is, it could be as simple as I should have moved that cup because it's gonna fall. Whatever it is, or I should have made that phone call. You know, I should have put money into this. Whatever. If your gut is telling you to do something, 9 times out of 10, it's right. And with that, finding that happiness, I think that when you take a look at what that means to you, you're gonna figure out what you need in life a whole lot faster. A whole lot faster. And your mental well-being will probably start to heal itself if you can figure out what makes you happy and make sure that you're doing that. Because getting caught up and ignoring that is just it's going to hurt you in the long run. And if there's something that you can do to try to add balance to that, do it. And if you don't know what it is, ask the question. Reach out. If y'all don't take anything away from this podcast, if you don't know something, research it, look it up, ask the questions, ask all the questions. If you're one of those people who shies away from your gut telling you, I don't know what to do, I don't know this answer, or how the hell am I supposed to, reach out, because there's people out there who are willing to mentor you. Search and seek out the knowledge. It is there. It is ready to get grabbed up in all aspects of life. I don't care what it is, whether it's health or wealth or whatever, raising kids, doesn't matter. Like there are men out there and women who are willing to mentor you. And if you can get one good mentor, it's probably going to be a life-changing thing. And for everybody who is out there who is listening to this, if you're struggling with those dips and waves, because if I'm assuming that people who are tuning into this have struggled with mental health at some point in their life, find a way to connect yourself and ground yourself. And that is as simple as taking your shoes off and walking out into the grass and connecting yourself with the magnetic energy in this earth and connecting yourself with her to kickstart and reboot. And like my man said, like sometimes he just steps into his backyard and lets the sun hit his face. It might be that simple that you just need that quick little boost.
That jolt of energy.
You might need that jolt of energy, and it's just like those are simple things that we're so caught up in technology that we have forgot about our primitive selves, and that we're still mammals, and we probably still need to go take a walk in the light, in the sunshine, go for a walk in nature, go, do something that connects yourself with this world, the natural world. And because the longer you stay disconnected to that, I think it's I take my kids camping. You're not allowed to have phones. Like you're not allowed to. Like we're going. You're not. You don't have to. You can't call your friends. You can't do none of that. They don't like it at first. The first 24 hours is rough. And then they're like, what phones? Just being able to like let them feel what it's like to not have that technology at their fingertips, and letting them get back to just enjoying the breeze on their face, is something that I'm hoping they'll reflect back on later in life as an adult and be like, I might just need to go take a walk to help my mental health. So it's the little things in life that make you happy, and I'm gonna end it right there.
You know what's crazy? I don't know why this came to my mind. Remember when we was younger, we used to have pen pals?
Yep.
And you would talk about anything under the sun and those things, and you just be waiting for that response. And it's like, what happened to that? Because sometimes that connection, and you figure out something that bonds y'all together, right? And it's like when it comes to this mental health stuff, my man said, oh, that's what made me think about it. You were talking about a mentor. Sometimes you just need to find a different friend from outside of your circle. Yep. Don't know you, unbiased, and just dump everything on them. And let them dump onto you also. You know what I mean? It's an even exchange. Because sometimes you just need to talk it out. That's it. Something's not that bad. You could just probably get away with it with talking it out, you know? So I think that's what a pen pal thing came from. I was like, damn, that's some creepy shit back in the day.
Yeah, like that used to be a thing, like, you know, and it was like, it was almost like having a therapist that was your friend.
Go ahead, Jason.
All right, so a takeaway from all of this, no matter what walk of life you're in, entrepreneurship, relationship, lifeship, this is my core principles. And I'll explain everything, but Veeb. First, you're going to visualize it. Then you're going to embrace it. Then you're going to act on it. And then you're going to believe. Right? See the happy ending first. I know our natural default in some situations is to see what can't happen or all the possibilities that will cause it not to come true. I urge people to really feel yourself in that moment of the end, the happy ending that you want, the results that you want. So when it comes to mental wellness, we're talking about the mental game. Make no mistake, it's a visual shift because you're going to visualize the outcome before you actually attain it. And then you're going to do emotion. And then you're going to start to formulate this end, right? So you visualize. When you visualize, you're in the moment. Like you can smell the environment. You can feel certain things, all of that. When we talk about embracing what you're visualizing, we're taking it a step further. I want you to graft yourself to an emotional moment. Think of your happiest moment that you could think of, where you felt the most fulfilled, and graft it to that. Just feeling on that emotion, that raw emotion. Embrace that. Add that energy to that vision. Then you're going to act on it. So act mean you're going to plan. Your day doesn't start on the day you wake up. Your day starts the day before that. So one should be planning for the next day, the day before. Before you go to bed, write out your next day. You know what you go waking up to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm 4 o'clock. I wake up 4 o'clock because at that point in the day is where I have the most clarity, right? Kids aren't up. Wife's still asleep. Everybody's knocked out. It's just me and my thoughts and my energy. And it really helps me to put everything in perspective at that hour. So I know the night before, I know I want to go over my marketing. I want to do X, Y, Z. I plan it as such and act on all that I've been visualizing, all that I've been embracing. I have a very short goal list, right? It has a bunch of pictures. You could call it a vision board of some sort, but it has all the pictures of everything I want to accomplish, when I'm going to accomplish it, how I'm going to accomplish it. And I will go through that and know that every action I'm taking is playing towards this thing, right? And at the end of it, no different than those who will go and pray for hours. You have to believe. You have to believe that what you want is going to happen. And you pray to God for this, you pray to the universe for it. You pray. You find yourself not knowing the outcome, but believing that the outcome is going. So yeah, that's just my takeaway. It helps to have these facets in place so that you can navigate a lot of situations, and it works for if you're going through some hardships as well. Visualize the outcome of it, embrace that truth, and then make a plan, act on the plan, and believe that it's going to have the happy ending that you want. So
Yo, that to-do list stuff, just like you said, Jason. That shit is
important.
It changed my whole routine up because it's like right when we finish wrapping up here, I'm gonna that whiteboard right there is gonna go change. I'm gonna put what's going on for tomorrow, realistically getting done for tomorrow, and then you go from there. And I catch my singles from there.
Yo, guys, have you So I want to share a little jewel with you, and for Kev, especially you. All right.
Is it on audio?
Nah, you got to read it. Yeah, I know.
Oh, he's in trouble.
But one to many, really good book. Jason Fladlin, that book is immaculate, and I just want to give you guys a little game from that man right there. You set yourself a goal. Say just the way JC was saying, when you think about something, don't wait on it. Do it. 100% true. Acclimate 30 minutes to that task. Only 30.
That's it.
30 minutes. Not 45 minutes because you're in the groove. Not an hour because you got more done. 30 minutes. Within that 30 minutes, you should be able to maximize your productivity. Go full throttle for that 30 minutes, man. I swear to you, you're going to see some big changes in everything that you're doing. It's just everything becomes more clear. Everything be put in perspective. When you allocate 30 minutes to something, it's like, yo, I've just been banging out meetings. You go to me, like 30 minutes, bang. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This was fucking fantastic. Yes, it was 30 minutes, nigga. And I'm out. So like, it works. Just try it out. It works. It's fantastic.
So I don't need to read the book. You just told me what the book is about.
No, I'm pretty sure there's details in there that you need to read. Don't be that guy.
I'm gonna tell you right now. A lot of people be saying, "Yo, you didn't get on this book." I'm like, "Yo, is it on audio?" Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't see myself sitting there reading a book. I feel as though my mind goes somewhere else. My brain don't work like that. I read the same sentence like 10 goddamn times. I feel like a fucking idiot sometimes reading. But you give me an audio book, boy, let me tell you, I'll finish that in a day.
Listen, take notes.
I'll just be driving around listening.
Kev, I'm the same way. I don't even listen to music in the whip. It's all audiobooks.
Oh yeah, but it's books and podcasts for me.
There are some books that are an investment, and I have the same facets. I'll have to read the same paragraph like 4 times. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But if we take on that
challenge,
you're gonna overcome it, and it's going to only benefit you in the end to follow through on that which you don't want to do, because discomfort is where the successful reside. You don't want to be comfortable all the time. You're gonna read this book.
I told my lady, I can't stand my lady. She could read like these thick ass books in a day. I'm like, yo, I'm probably gonna need like a month and a half on that one.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if it takes a month and a half, it takes a month and a half.
I did tell her, like, once I finish school, going into the summer, I'm gonna start back into like reading books, like, because at that point now I don't have to worry about schoolwork no more. I can allocate that time to the 30 minutes.
Maximizing your full throttle 30 minutes. Listen, guys, and well, sorry, no girls, but guys, ladies, if you're listening, I would like to say that we have to remember that we are a vibe, man. We are a vibration. We are a frequency. We are something that the world needs. Yeah. So in that knowledge of knowing that we are something that the world needs, let's be there for each other. Let's help ourselves be great, and let's help someone else as well. And sometimes, like we said in the podcast, you just gotta listen. You don't even have to say anything, and that right there can help someone. For the brothers out there that feel that they're alone, find a group of other people that feel alone and start talking to them. You know,
even if you don't, even if you can't find them people, for those people listening to this that feel alone, because there's people that are really struggling really deeply, that might be in a really dark place. And if you are one of those people, just if you can see yourself as something that is important. Like Renat, what you just said, like you're needed, you are loved, you are wanted, you are blessed. You were blessed before you even came out your mother's womb. You are God already had a plan for you. The universe already had a plan for you. Allah already had a plan for you. Whatever you want to call that power, that higher power of creation, you are a blessed being.
Yes,
and you matter. And do not take that step further into the darkness. I don't care what you have to do to climb and crawl and fight your way out of it. Whatever you have to do, get out of it and get back in the fight, because I promise you, fighting is better than being in the dark.
Man, ain't that the truth?
Listen, that's it. That's it. You know, find that joy, find things that make you happy. And listen, I just want to say one more thing too, because the new society that we live in, it's unfortunate. Sometimes their negativity is what brings them joy. Right? Find a way to flip that and find the positive in the things that you enjoy to bring out. And at the end of the day, yes, we're colored men, black men on this podcast talking right now, but at the end of the day, we are human, and every human almost goes through the same thing that every other human goes through.
Yeah.
So you are not alone, and if you need help, seek help. Of course, there's hotlines out there. There's other people you can find out there to talk to work out your issues. But remember, whatever battles you're going through, you're not going through that battle alone.
Man, you gotta find your purpose too. If you got your purpose, it's hard. It's hard to stay in that dark place for too long. You know, like I look at it like this in the military, the things that I went through in that war zone, to see that I survived all of that. Man, my conceited, that was the worst thing my conceited ass could have had. Because I was like, I'm here for a reason. So no matter how dark it gets, I'm here for a reason, and I'm not gonna waste he pulled me out of that and all these other situations for a reason. I don't know what his reason was. I'm gonna keep running this marathon called life, and I'm gonna figure out along the way until he said, all right, your job's done. Come on back home.
Listen,
you dig? So
every day you wake up, is a new opportunity to get something done and to figure out what your why is, what your reasoning is. Listen, you might be 100 years old before you find out what it is, but you worked every day to get up to 100 and to find out why. And that's what is important. From everything that the four of us have said, it's the small battles that matter most. That's going to get us to the bigger battles. And when we win those, listen, the celebration is going to be crazy. Welcome to the good life. You know, better than the life I lived when I thought that I was going to go crazy. You know what I mean? So celebrate those small wins. Don't sweep anything under the rug. Celebrate those small wins. You woke up, that's a W right there. You got one of those tasks done. Listen, you tell yourself you're going to wake up at 4 a.m. You wake up at 4 a.m. That's a dub right there. You got something done on top of it. That's another win right there. You go to your significant other. Yo, I woke up at 4 a.m. today. I was able to accomplish X, Y, and Z. Now y'all can celebrate those wins. Celebrate those wins. Nothing small. No win is small. No win is small. Every win is going to help you get to the bigger win. And as you get to the bigger win, always self-check on yourself. Self-check on the homies. Listen, the better we all feel, the better we get things done. With that being said, Shou Talks, thank you for allowing us to have this mental talk with the fellas. We appreciate you. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Yo, y'all have a good one. I guess I have to go upstairs to turn the recording off. But yo, listen, this was great. Like I said, I'm gonna have her cut this off, of course, because it's nobody's business. Galactic Vibe Season 2 is coming back. I'm gonna start my podcast back up, and I would love to have y'all on there. Maybe we have another talk just like this. I would love, since y'all two are entrepreneurs, JC, you're the manager at a an animal place. You know, I'd love the podcast is basically bringing the energy we just brought here I want to bring the energy through the podcast so other people can hear what we're doing, as as people, not just men of color, but as people as well. So I think a lot of the times the main issue we have in this world, besides physical trauma, the mental trauma, is that we don't celebrate our wins enough. We don't celebrate that we awake. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Having Ramses kind of checked me a little bit, because I was like, damn, I'm not number one no more, man. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna be good. You know what I mean? And then I had to realize, like, yo, dog, you know, he the new kid on the block. Let him have his time. It's his time. But yo, through him, we having a good time, man. Seeing him transform every day. He's learning his ABCs. He can walk. My man just, yo, that's the one thing I appreciate. I think is amazing about having a kid, or stepping into that role of being a father, is when you see yourself in this growing human being, you're just like, yo, god damn, this motherfucker is happy for no reason. Well, why is he like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So I want to.
The world hasn't corrupted him yet. That's what happened.
But listen, that's true. That's true. But that's why they have us. That's why
that's a fact.
That's why they have us. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I don't really let a lot of negativity affect me. But that's the thing those are the things that I be thinking about sometimes. Like, yo, damn, why am I like this a little bit? But then I think about my mom, how she loved church and religion and what she instilled in us. Even though I think my dad's a dickhead sometimes, I still think about, okay, not everything he did made him a dickhead. You know what I mean? Like, when they
think about it, depending on what age you were, he sounded like a dickhead. But
no,
if it was now, you probably be like,
no, you know what it is. That's true, but you know what it is. On top of that is, I don't know what it is. I think maybe because I like history, so I reflect back and I take the dickhead behavior too, and I think maybe that is what I needed at that moment. To be right. Like, I'm not gonna be a dickhead. Like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This man, I asked this man for $500 to buy a car. This man had an attitude. He was bitching and moaning. I said, dog, I'm gonna pay you back. Like, what the fuck, man? Can I get the money, please? Like, shit. He gave it to me. As soon as I got paid, I gave it back to him. And he was like, nah, you can keep it. It's all good. I'm like, yo, motherfucker, like.
Yo, bro, you know they gotta have stuff to complain about, man.
You know what I mean? So
ways, just
so that's why JC, like you said, maybe write a letter, send it to the universe, burn it. But I'll never understand. But the one thing I do understand about at least fatherhood is that, like Kevin, you said earlier, bro, they didn't have no handbook. They was writing the book as they was doing it. So all we can do is read it and write our own book on top of it, and hope that when they read it, they write their own book and just keep building off the previous book. That's it.